That's fine. Yeah, great.
So, okay, so this is the only thing about the podcast. On the count of 3, we have to clap together. Ready?
Okay.
1,
2.
big clap. 1, 2, 3. Cool. And that way I can sync it up. Yeah,
Oh, very
it
cool.
looks good. Let me move. We're keeping all this. I even keep the little DIY.
Yes, I can go. Oh yeah, I can't do it.
Awesome. The lighting is good today too. The lighting looks nice.
Very nice. Natural light. Cool.
Miki, check your mic. Go 1, 2.
Check, check, check. 1, 2. Yes, I seem pretty
That's you on the top. That's me on the bottom.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. Looks good.
Another hot September day.
Dude, what the hell?
Yeah, we might have to turn that AC back on partway through.
Dude. Yes. Cool.
Yeah, so what's up? What's going on? I haven't seen you all summer.
Yeah, because you were busy.
So are you.
No, I wasn't busy. That's why I was hiding. The summer was really slow. It was really nice, though. I went to a bunch of Yankee games. And,
Yes, I saw.
Really didn't do much. I was preparing for my record to come out and stuff like that. So it was good. It was a good slow but productive.
Did that drop already?
No, it's coming out in 2 days.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, from today.
Shades of Rainbow, right?
Shades of Rainbow,
On
yes.
Cellar Live Records. It's you and Jimmy and Tyrone and
Mark Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The one and only.
one and only special guest. You know,
He's incredible.
super incredible.
So preparing for that is like, what do you need?
Seltzer.
A little seltzer?
Yes.
I'm going to get a case for our, it seems to be popular among our guests. Preparing for that, how so? Like did you do any of the artwork yourself or were you?
Cello did everything, but Martina took a nice photo.
I saw that.
And that was like enough meant to before the record, but those photos are just so good. And like I asked Martina, like I paid her the license fee and stuff like that. So it worked out. Because just those photos are just so good. So,
Yeah, they looked really, really nice.
Yeah.
And they fit with the theme of the album.
yeah, it's like I happened to be wearing the rainbow color kimono with the shades. So that worked.
Did you have the name of the record before you?
No.
Oh, so you took the photos and then you had the name of the record. That's what I did on one of my Corey records too.
Yes, I already had the photos like a long time ago. I mean, like several months ago. But yeah, the record's completely. I didn't plan that at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I did that with the one record that I did for Corey. It was called Good Spirits. And it was supposed to be called something completely different. But then I took a picture in front of a place that said Good Spirits.
Nice.
And then I was like, all right, this works.
Yeah, that works. Come on.
Yeah.
Whatever works,
So you guys did what, a little tour in February with Mark and Jimmy and Tyrone, and then you recorded, or how'd you get this band together? Well, obviously you and Jimmy play together constantly.
Yeah, then Tyrone too. Tyrone and us been playing together probably a lot because of Smalls. Like I used to do that every week
Yeah.
at Smalls Monday night, and then that became like twice a month. And now it's once a month, but it's okay because
But it's okay.
it's okay because it's a lot of work. Honestly,
Doing Smalls?
Yeah, man. It's like because I would like to be, doing the session. Like I don't want it to be just like free for all.
Yeah.
I actually do give a fuck about that. Excuse my language. So I wanted to do it like every week, but like it was just a little too tiring for me at this point. So once a month is perfect. Anyway, like we played a lot, and Tyrone just like was just the best bass player, at least for the combination of Jimmy and I.
Yeah.
And just like Jimmy's super on top, and Tyrone's like right behind him, and just like gives me the best line ideas, and he listens to me all the time. He is a bass player that I was asking for, I was waiting for. So that was great, and like this is my trio, and I want to make a trio record actually. But then I got this gig at Birdland, and I talked to Corey, I want to record after this gig.
The one coming up with Tane and...
No, that's what I did already this last weekend.
Yeah.
But the one I'm talking about is back in February.
Yeah.
So like the tour and the Birdland gig happened in the same month. And then I talked to Corey about it, and he was like, no, wait a minute. I have a festival in Vancouver, so why don't you make a little tour and bring Mark for this? And then record there
Right,
instead
in
of record
Vancouver.
here.
Right.
So I was like, dude, that sounds good. I'll do it. So Mark was like, I'll do one or the other. He was like, I'll do either Birdland or the Vancouver tour. So I was like, dude, definitely tour and the recording. So I was like, so Mark did that.
And then Birdland, you just filled out with like
Yeah, with like my friends. Tyrone and Jimmy played, but Simon Muller played a
Right.
few nights.
Nicole
Jamili,
played?
no. I think Nicole, I asked Nicole, I think, but Nicole was out with Artemis, I think. Jamili sang a couple nights, and Steve Wilson played one night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was nice. It was just like kind of guests, kind of.
Right,
thing.
right. special
Trio
guests.
plus guests.
In
yeah.
the theater. In
Yes.
Birdland Theater.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, that seemed to work out pretty smoothly.
Yeah, that was nice. I was like, oh, that works out. I didn't think that I would ever work out like that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When it works out, it's like, oh, it's that simple.
But I'm curious, like, what is so about running smalls? We all know like what it can turn into if you're not active.
Oh, dude.
But like, what is so exhausting? Is it the actually being out that late, or like, what have you learned? Because there are probably a lot of people watching this who are frequent the live stream and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, if you watch, the YouTube feed, like, you would know that some people do care about the jam sessions and some don't. And I care about jam sessions because that's how I learned growing up. I mean, when I moved to New York, I didn't know anyone, but like going to the session was the only way I could get better and try things. So I didn't want to make one tune long, or like saxophone players just take 20 courses every tune. So
Yeah.
the rhythm section player can only play maybe one tune or maybe even not.
Yeah.
Like that sucks for us. I'm thinking about like rhythm section, especially a bass player. Like, come on, like they be like holding it down, and sometimes no solos.
You
I
don't
was
got
like,
to
dude,
tell
what,
me.
dude, like seriously, what the hell? Like, so like I don't want that to happen. So like I'm always like very attentive, and then just like try to be fair for everyone.
Yeah.
Just try to be. So like I learned how to talk to people. I learned how to piss off people too, but I learned how to confront to people. Just what you're doing isn't cool, at least in my session. Maybe you can do that at your gig, but don't do it here, at least. If that will be okay, then like feel free to play, But just like I'm trying to make everybody happy, so you can't just do your thing here.
Right.
So I learned how to talk to people with that, like with respect, just sometimes I'm not because I'm drunk, but that's okay because everybody's drunk.
Yeah, pretty much everybody in
Yes.
smalls.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I've come down there on Monday nights, you have well, first of all, you were really cycling through not to jump back and forth, but you really were cycling through bass players for a long time.
Yes, I did actually, yes.
You kind of like tried everybody
Because
out.
Orlando left, Orlando
your dude.
was my dude. Like
Yeah, yeah.
my freaking dude, yes. Yeah, definitely. But he's back in England, so
Right.
I can't call him like, oh, I'll pay you.
Right, yeah.
Flight tickets.
Yeah, come on, get into JFK at 9 and get on Smalls Live at 10:30.
10:30, yes, exactly.
Right, so you were just like trying a bunch of different people out and seeing what the vibe was, and then it
Yes.
was Tyrone that seemed to be the best.
Yes, for at least like, but he's busy. Like he tours with Sully and stuff.
Right.
He's never available. So,
Got to train up some young cat now, Miki.
but he's young, man. What the hell? He's young.
Well, you're what? You're 33?
I'm 34.
Okay. When's your birthday, by the way?
March 14th.
Okay, all right.
Yes, I'm Pisces.
And Jimmy's your age, right?
2 years younger than me.
2 years younger. Cradle Robin.
I like
For
younger
those of you who don't know,
boys.
Jimmy McBride is a wonderful drummer who plays with Miki and also plays my band sometimes, and
Yeah,
also is
yeah.
Miki's husband.
Yes. That's
Avid
nice.
baseball fan,
Yes, huge. We went to the Yankee game last night.
natural consumer of natural wines.
Yes, correct.
What else does Jimmy like?
Jimmy likes, I don't know, Jimmy likes X-Files.
X-Files? Really?
Is it X-File?
Yeah,
Just
X-Files is great. With the
Yes, that TV show, he likes it. I mean, he doesn't watch TV that much, but if he watches, that's the show
does he read the paper? I feel like he would read the paper.
He likes to read. He's reading a book about New Orleans, history book, I think.
Just about general New Orleans
Yeah, I
history.
think so. Like how you know, the music happened and the food and everything. That covers like all those celebrity, the cultural like merging and everything. It talks a lot about that.
I would love to check that out.
Yeah, he said it's really interesting. He likes to read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all got to read more. Are you reading anything right now?
Oh, I don't read anything. I just do not read, okay? I'm not good at reading. Just English, forget it. Oh,
What about
forget it.
reading Japanese books?
Japanese books? I should. I like playing video games, so
I like playing video games too.
That's all I do, play video games or
My
writing
Switch
emails.
is right next to you, by the
Yeah,
way.
I did see that. I'm not going to miss that.
I just have one. I just play Dragon Ball Z. That's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's your game?
No, Kyle Poole and I are both obsessed with Dragon Ball Z.
I didn't expect that was your game.
That
That's
was
cute.
my
That's
whole
really cute.
my whole childhood was me running around the basement being like, yeah, like trying to make beams come out of my two hands.
Oh, that's
like,
really
yeah.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
But now I'm rewatching. Yeah, it's a little controversial for me to say this, but I am rewatching the first 2 seasons of House of Cards right now.
Okay, is it good? I've heard of it, but
It's incredible.
oh, really?
Obviously, we all have some mixed feelings about the gentleman who was the lead actor due to his Kevin Spacey.
Oh, I know the name. But I really don't know anything about.
Okay, we'll get off that. But do you watch any Japanese TV shows from here that like comfort food kind of?
No, I don't watch it like a Japanese like TV dramas and stuff like that. But I watch anime. I watch.
So you watch Dragon Ball Z?
No Dragon Ball Z. I don't know why, but I don't like that.
It's too Americanized, huh?
No, I don't like the artwork. I don't like how they look.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to try and draw.
I mean, it's
You
a
don't
style.
like the Super Saiyan hair, like the big.
I used to watch it growing up.
Was it big in Japan?
Of course, it's Japanese.
No, but I know it's Japanese, but I didn't know if it was one of those things that was like really big in the U.S. and the Japanese were like.
Oh, no. Just, don't worry. It
Watch your
was-
legs, by the way,
Oh,
on the
whoops.
cable because this is messed up. This mic
That's
stand.
right. That's right.
Yeah, but be comfortable, relax.
Yes, it is huge. Of course, I grew up with that. Like it was like on like every morning or every afternoon. I can't remember what time, but like not every day, but like every whatever day, like that they were airing. you
That's
know,
what we had too.
Yeah, just like always there.
It's the global minds controlling us. They're like, if we put Dragon Ball Z on at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, these kids will need antidepressants in 30 years, in 20 years.
Maybe. Maybe you're telling us the truth now, right?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to get
just
flagged for
kidding.
misinformation by YouTube.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the anime you do like then?
I've been watching One Piece. It's still going.
One Piece?
One Piece.
I don't know about it.
It's fucking amazing. Please watch. It's One Piece. It's called One Piece, like one piece, not the piece like a piece in,
No, like one thing together.
one
like
thing.
Piece.
One thing. Anyway, that's a Japanese anime. It's still going on. So if you don't like something that it's not done yet,
Yeah.
don't recommend. But it's beautiful. Oh my god, it's so long too. So even if like watching like some of that would satisfy you, it's really good.
Wow.
It's so good.
Where do you get it?
I just subscribed Crunchyroll. That's like pretty funny. I used to watch it like with the pirate sites and stuff like that, but I was like,
Is Crunchyroll like an anime streaming service?
just anime, just anime.
We still don't have a jazz streaming service.
Who the fuck cares about jazz?
Well, there's the
man?
one, the Quincy Jones one, right? The concert. Did you see that?
No.
QTV or whatever?
QTV.
Yeah, and they have all these sick concerts from the last, 80 years or whatever, and stuff today.
What?
Q Buzz or something like that. Somebody will.
It exists?
Yeah, somebody in the comments hook us up.
Yes, that's right.
You can see this guy.
Right?
You can see Coltrane's band.
Yeah.
Yeah, Q Buzz, I think it is.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's $10 a month. It's like any other streaming service.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, I guess we have YouTube.
Right. YouTube is great.
It's got every concert ever.
Like literally everything.
So
Right.
what? Okay, obviously people can find your bio online, and you've given interviews and stuff like that. But like, you started playing piano late, right?
I mean, I was playing classical piano like from 5 to maybe 11, 12.
And then you stopped.
Stopped.
What were you doing then, besides watching One Piece or what, Dragon Ball
Well,
Z?
yes. I was in a jazz band, I guess, but like everything was written out. No improvisation. There was no concept of improvisation.
Whoa! Stop. Talk about that. Because even in our high school jazz bands, they're like solo man.
Yeah, there was a soloist, but everything was written out by someone else that I don't know. Maybe our teacher did that or they transcribed it.
Whoa.
But
Did Ben Solomon tell you about when he used to take solos in middle school jazz band?
no.
They'd be like, time for you to solo, man. And he'd be like, get up and take a solo. Anyway, terrible. But I saw you were on Instagram. You were with him the other day.
Yes, it was fun. We went to me and Aruda, your man as
Oh,
well. Aruda,
God, he's
Ben,
so
and I
great.
went to see a movie.
What'd you see?
we watched this stupid movie called Strays.
Oh,
dogs.
Joe Block and I were going to go see that.
Great.
Was it
really,
good?
It's really hilarious. It's just dumb.
I bet Aruda loved that.
Dude, all three of us loved it. It was really great.
All right, so let me not take you off topic. So you're in this middle school jazz band pretty much?
Yes, and that was 3 years. I didn't have the concept of improvising at all, but I got to see other schools that was good, that were good.
That were improvising.
I think so. I didn't know that though. I didn't have the concept yet. I didn't know that jazz was improvised.
Yeah.
I thought everybody was reading. I didn't know small bands were things. Even though in Japan, if you've been to Japan,
Just
like you
once.
hear jazz everywhere. Like you go
amazing.
to izakaya, like you hear bird. Like what the hell? It's just like
So great.
The train be shredding all over in izakaya or like a ramen restaurant. It's like you're sipping ramen. It's like, hey man, like you know.
You guys kind of like preserve jazz in an amazing way.
At least back in the day they did, yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
would say
a lot
so.
of the master tapes and stuff that we've lost when they go to like remaster stuff, they get it from Japan. They
Yeah,
like fly
because
it
they
from-
keep it neatly, everything, and they just like they really give a fuck. You know, they care
Can't
about
wait to
it.
go back. I only went one time for 3 days. I went to the Blue Note with,
Only 3 days. Oh,
with Christian Scott. Well, it was like 5 maybe all together, but we played 3 nights at the Blue Note during Halloween.
Ooh.
And
Did you see any
Roppongi
of
was
the-
wild during Halloween.
I bet.
Yeah, it was super
bet.
wild.
I bet. Yeah, Japan could be wild too, but yes, it's a great city for jazz. Like you hear it everywhere. My parents used to love going to jazz kissa. Jazz kissa is a thing that it's a cafe that you are faced one way. You're in a room and you're faced one way, and then there is like a big ass like a record player and speakers,
Yeah.
and you pick a record from the shelf.
Ultimate date night.
Yes, like you pick a
Yeah.
record and then you ask the master or like the host, hey, can you play this record? And then they play the record for you and you just don't talk. You just like listen to it with the coffee or like a sip of whiskey and stuff like that.
What time of day is this usually done?
I think depending on what kind of jazzakissa it is, but just like they usually open from like, you know, like late afternoon to little nighttime, and they just go after the work or like in between work break or, you know.
Why is Japan just so hip?
That's pretty hip though, right? I
So
really want
hip.
it to be back.
It's like, hey, here's a date night. We're going to sit down and use our brains to analyze intellectual music and not speak.
Not speak, yeah.
That will never happen in America. I just want to point that out. If people can't, like, you know, pay a $40 cover charge downtown, elbow, and not be quiet, then
Dude, it's not. I mean, they didn't have to pay for it, the cover charge or like a requesting fee. They just have to order a drink. They just order a drink, sit down, maybe you hear just the sound of the cups, you know? Clink, clink, clink.
so nice.
It's so nice.
It's like
with the red
ASMR.
garland.
I can hear it now. It's like little cups clinking and just like
Yes.
Doug Watkins just walking.
Yes, sure. Like,
That's
it's
how you.
pretty dope, honestly.
Did they go before you were born, or they were doing?
Oh yeah,
it?
yeah. Before, like when they started dating, they used to go those.
So cute.
I think that was like at the heart of the time that Jazz Kissa was big.
The heart of their love.
Yes. Yeah. Then they liked jazz. They didn't really care about it because it was everywhere or whatever. They didn't really go out to see a live show or anything, but they just had the concept of like, oh, we like jazz.
I heard during the Brecker Brothers, like they were on like pop radio. Like they would land in
I'm
Japan,
sure.
and it was just like massive.
I mean, like, look at Ron Carter being on like a Suntory whiskey commercials and shit.
He's on a coffee one too, isn't he?
Yeah, Ron was big. Ron is big.
Mr. Carter.
Yeah, Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter.
Sir Carter.
Hello. Maybe you're watching Mr. Carter.
Yeah, so that would be great. But yes, Ron Carter, Mr. Ron Carter.
There we go.
is huge.
Sir. He's a sir.
He's a sir, but
Yes.
yes, very, very huge. And then like his figure, his playing, his posture, all that, like kind of
Didn't they have billboards of him?
maybe I wouldn't doubt that.
Did
you
you
know,
ever
like,
see any like jazz billboards? I feel like I saw
I
one.
don't know.
Wasn't Mark? Well, that's
Mark
was in Korea in the Uniqlo ads.
No, it's not Korea. It's in Japan.
That's Uniqlo Japan.
Yeah,
But Uniqlo is Korean, right?
Uniqlo is Japanese.
Fuck. Definitely gonna have to edit that out for sure. Definitely.
It's okay.
You're gonna see
can
a
make
big cut where I go like that in the video. Yeah.
Yes.
I always
Uniqlo-
thought Uniqlo was Japanese. I always did, and then somebody told me it was Korean.
maybe Korean people bought the company, but as far as I know, Uniqlo is Japanese.
That's why I thought all the Blue
Yes.
Note stuff. I always thought Uniqlo.
That's why like they have all those like a Blue Note T-shirt. Or,
Yeah, I have like 5 of them.
Yes, those are super.
I
cool.
always thought Uniqlo was Japanese. I swear, a year and a half ago, somebody was like,
Don't worry, Claffy. You can make mistakes. Okay.
No, I know, but I'm telling you, somebody a year and a half ago was like, "You're absolutely wrong. Uniqlo is Korean."
Maybe it is now. We don't know yet.
All right, we'll have to research it.
Yes, but anyway, so as far as I know, Uniqlo is Japanese, and yeah, Mark Turner did the ads.
I saw it.
With like a shakuhachi player.
With the turtleneck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. He looks so great. And like so when we did the tour, he was like, I was like admiring his attire. He was like, "Wow, you wear a suit? Like you wear a jacket?" He's like, "Well, sometimes, you know."
Yeah.
He's like, "That's nice." And it's like, "Where did you get it?" Well, where do you think? He was like, it was a Uniqlo.
Right.
Because like his body type is really rare in the States, I feel like. He's very twiggy. It's like he's really fit, but
Yeah.
not like like muscly, you know, like so.
No, he's like a runner.
Yeah,
you know,
he's like a
very
runner,
fit,
really
yeah.
thin. So like his body shape really works.
Kind of like Joshua Redmond too. They're like
Yes,
thin
but
guys
I
who
think
run.
Josh is fitter. I think more like jacked. I feel.
But I've seen Mark suited up for most of the week at the Vanguard with Farnsworth.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
did see that because I went to that show.
Once Farns suits up, then it's like
Yeah, because like it looks better, right? Like he can't just show up with the, I don't know, I can't remember. He does wear jacket sometimes, but I didn't really see that before, so I pointed out for him.
he was suited up. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the
he's-
night we all hung and we went over to Mesro with Larry Goldings and
Dude, that was funny. I was like, what?
yeah.
Yes. Mark likes to hang. He just can't hang that much anymore because he's getting old.
He was like, the next day he was like, that's the first time I hung like that in like 25 years. And I was like, I was
Yeah.
honored to be there.
And me and Mark used to close smalls. Like we did that like a few times.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, I just go to the Vanguard. It's like keep hanging out with Mark. It's like, do you want to go to Smalls? And he was like, okay, one more drink, and we ended up closing. Like, it's like, okay, we gotta go now.
You guys have such a nice relationship. Like when I hang out with you guys,
Yeah, Mark has been really nice. I don't know why, but he's been really nice.
because you're a great musician and he wants to work with you.
No, yeah, he's nice. I think he finds me funny. You know, it's like it's interesting.
I think,
person.
well, that's another thing we should talk about. I think we all find you funny. I think you're unabashed, like Jochen Ruckert style Facebook presence. Although
Yes.
you have your own lane, but
Mine
you
is
and
own,
Jochen
but-
kind of like
Definitely, I think Jochen.
Hall and Oates, Simon and Garfunkel, Miki and Jochen.
You know, I admire Jochen, and I think Jochen admits that I can be funny. I think he can accept me being funny. You know, he's cool with me. He's
I feel
cool
like the
with-
timing too of your posts, like sometimes it'll be like Monday, 10 a.m.
Yes.
Like it's work week for the jazz musician, like getting up at 10 a.m. on a Monday feeling anxious because you don't have an actual 9 to 5. And then we read something from you that's like
yeah.
very true.
I mean, probably that was posted by me like at 4 a.m. or like 5 a.m. after Smalls and stuff. You know, that's what.
So that would be Tuesday morning.
Yeah, or like sometimes I do Sunday night, you know, like, you know, if I just played with Jason Brown a couple months ago and stuff, you know. I played there on Sunday sometimes.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't do Facebook that much though, because Facebook used to be just the people I knew, you know. It's like I only accepted those people who I knew.
So then your thoughts were limited
like a
to
little bit limited, like I can express myself a little bit more.
Yeah.
But now it's just like some people that I met, yes, but I don't really want to, you know, tell them my jokes.
Yeah,
You know? Like they don't have to hear my, you know, funny thoughts. They don't have to. So it's just keeping it.
And it was,
down
I feel
low.
like some of your stuff too was so funny or borderline, sometimes a little bit hot.
Oh, dude,
a little
that's
hot, a little
definitely hot. Let's not
controversial.
talk about that.
No, why not? Why not? I mean, I think you were being honest about your thoughts, and every once in a while you would amend it and be like, actually, guys, you know what? I came on a little strong.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
But I actually do mean what I say.
I know.
I really do mean what I say. I don't really say shit that I don't mean ever, like ever in my life. So if I do say it, if I type it, if I posted it, I do mean it. It's not bullshit. So I have to apologize sometimes because what I meant was a little bit hurtful for people, you
Right.
know, or like it's a little bit opinionated or whatever. But I still don't want to really apologize because I meant it, you know?
Yeah. And
So it's like, ooh, that's why I shouldn't post too much, you know? Facebook is a little dangerous.
I think we're all in. It's funny. It's like sometimes I'm in a mood where I'm like, all right, I want to pick up my phone and I want to see what's happening, what's shaking, what people's opinions are.
Right.
But that's like a very specific mood. I think a lot of us, it's a muscle, and we pick up the phone and do it in a time where you probably shouldn't, where you're like, you're already stressed or you should be journaling or something like that. And then you read something and you get so mad about it and you want to respond about it. But actually, sometimes it's like if you're in a good place and there's a polite banter going on and a discussion about stuff, that's like the foundation of civilization, is being able to talk about
Yes, it's just not.
community.
It's better to be talked about those things in person or over the phone instead of on Facebook. You know, that's all it is. I
It
think.
kind of always disintegrates to like, well, fuck you.
Yes,
Yeah.
basically, because you can say shit that you can't really say in front of those people. But the thing is, I could. Like if I were like in front of you, I would tell you right now. Those YouTube
Speak to them.
commenters.
They're all right there. Hey, guys.
Yeah, hey guys.
Some people are
Fuck
driving
you
in their
too.
car
No,
right now,
I shouldn't say
and they
it.
just turned off Soul Station, and now they turned on this podcast.
Oh,
so.
I mean that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
But what, like, okay, so you're saying you rarely, if ever, say things that you don't mean. So when you posted those things, you really, really meant them. But then it
100%.
obviously has an effect.
Yes, sometimes sometimes you're not supposed to say things, you know, things that you thought. It's like, oh, this person's fat. You shouldn't say that. You know, hey, you're getting fat. Like, you shouldn't say that. And like, I used to say that though to people. Aruda reminded me.
Really?
Aruda reminded me that I used to say to Aruda, "Oh, you gained weight, Aruda. How dare I? Like, I'm so rude. That's so rude."
So where does that, is that like a family thing? Like,
No,
is your family very,
none of my family does it.
so where do you think you,
I think because none of my family and none of my people does it. I think
none of your people, you're going to have to be more specific.
like none of my Japanese folks don't express themselves
In general, you're saying.
in general.
Elaborate.
Well, we're not supposed to say what we think, culturally speaking. You were supposed to hide, especially women. Women are supposed to be like, you know, right behind men who say things more. So I am supposed to listen to what men think, and then what men say, and then you should just don't open your mouth and just like nod. Yes, sir. You know, just like yes. You know, that's right. You know, that's the attitude, culturally, like historically. And I saw so many people doing things like that, and I was like, oh, I do not like this, because I used to be like that. I used to hide myself, and I thought that's the way to be liked by people.
When did you start to notice a change?
That was when I was in high school, because I was bullied a lot in junior high school.
Yeah.
So if I'm bullied, then like I want to be myself and bullied. I don't want to hide myself and bullied. I want to be bullied and be me.
Right.
I think that's much better. So I was like, you know what? When I go to this next school, I'm not going to hide myself anymore. And then I wasn't bullied. That was great. Like, they were like, you're a little crazy, but cool, you know?
So it's almost like anything else in life. The more that you leaned into yourself and accepted yourself and put that vibe out there, the less that people picked on you.
Yeah. It's just like, they can fuck with me anymore, you know?
Right. And do you think that has increased as time
Oh,
has
yeah.
gone on?
Indeed.
You feel more comfortable being yourself. Mm-hmm. And essentially, I don't want to speak for you, but it's like, you might not like me, and that's fine. Then I'm not for you.
It's completely fine, just like you can say that to anyone, but like, don't.
And that's the thing about social media, is that if you don't like me, don't follow me. That's what I hear a lot of my friends.
I,
They want to have this presence. They want to put themselves out there.
Yes.
Part of themselves may be controversial or say things that are offensive to others. They don't give a shit. Don't follow me. I'm not really like that. I strictly use it for music. This is what I'm up to. This is where I'm at. And I have other avenues where I'm more private with that sort of stuff. But I do
Sure.
express it. I do. It's
Yes.
just I don't do it in a public channel like that. Every once in a while,
I
right.
think it's smart because, like, especially like you have a lot of followers that you don't know. Those
I have a
people
lot
that
of
you
followers
don't.
I don't know.
That's like then the fact that you're careful is very good. And
I don't
like
have
a
like a
business.
massive social media following, as you guys are aware, and as a lot of people are aware. But when I do go to a jazz festival or something like that, and I meet a lot of young musicians, they go, "I follow you on da 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 da," and I have no idea who this person is. This
Me
happened
neither. Yes.
last weekend in Detroit. This happened,
Great.
10 or
Man,
20 times.
Detroit Jazz Festival
Wow.
seemed so fun.
What a hang! Everyone should go to the Detroit Jazz
I
Festival.
really want to go. That's a dream.
It's so awesome.
Yeah, like literally everyone was there.
Everyone was there, and it's like free, and the young musicians can hang out in the hotel. Everyone's staying in the hotel. Everyone's hanging on the hotel patio.
Yeah, that's so great.
It was just a great vibe.
Yeah.
But that being said, it did kind of make me conscious. It's like, okay, I'm 31, so I'm still young, and I'm still coming up in
you're
it.
young.
But there are people younger than us. And if we're putting out interviews and records and all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff, I was like, okay, I gotta watch my mouth, But that's my take.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's smart. Sometimes, I think, well, it's not sometimes, it's all the time. I feel like we should be careful because people might be watching you in a weird place too. Sometimes like they might be feeling weird and they saw us posting something very radical and then they'd be like, oh, and they're very vulnerable. And then we kind of control their opinions sometimes.
Yes.
We could do that, the thing is.
Exactly.
If especially they admire you. Oh, Alex Claffy, like I've been watching you so much. I want to play bass like you. And you say some very crucial opinion
Yeah.
on social media. And then they'd be like, oh, but Claffy said this, They use you.
And
almost.
it's so much different than saying it like in a bar. Like I don't drink anymore, but
for you.
no, I'm not trying to preach or anything, but it's just my choice. But when I was drinking and I was out in a bar and I rattle something off just kind of to be funny or whatever, and there's young musicians around. I remember being younger and hearing older musicians do that, and it stuck with me, and it meant a lot. But doing it on social media is even worse.
I think
because
so.
it's in
I
text.
agree.
It's
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I think being careful and using that as like a thoroughly business mindset, it's
Yeah.
good. I think people can, just enjoy what you do musically.
yeah.
That's.
But people also want to see a personality too, which is why I restarted this podcast. Sorry, I'm nasty. I'm going to take out this nicotine thing.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe one day when this podcast is big enough, we'll have an ad for these. They get ads on every single podcast. Lucy, these
Oh,
nicotine.
hey man, get it.
Just trying to quit smoking.
I quit smoking in January.
Nice.
Yay!
So that's 9 months.
Yeah, I guess so.
When in January? I think you quit smoking right before I quit drinking.
I quit smoking on January 2nd, I think. It was maybe a 3rd. The 3rd. I played a gig. No, I think it was the 3rd. It was the 3rd. January 3rd, I smoked one inhale of this cigarette that I loved, and then I didn't want anymore.
Were those cool thin cigarettes you used to smoke?
No, I just I smoke American Spirits.
But didn't you have
Light
some
Blue.
other cigarettes that were not American?
I did have it because my friends or my dad had a lot of them or stuff like that. They gave it to me when I went back to Japan. So like I took it home with me.
Did your pop still smoke a little bit?
No, he hasn't smoked since he had a heart attack.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. That's like right after I moved to New York, so like 10, 11 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and he hasn't smoked even one cigarette since then.
That'll do it.
It's a miracle that he's still alive, honestly. So he's definitely getting thinner, weaker, but I believe in him. He can handle it. It's the fact that he doesn't work that much is affecting him, I think. COVID really affected.
What did he do?
He's a researcher. He's a scientist. So like he used to travel a lot, go to the conferences, and he even did the research in Indonesia. He worked for the government, like did a lot of important stuff. But he was super busy, so he was keeping himself very busy, and like he was very energized.
Yeah.
But as soon as like COVID hit, like, he couldn't really travel anymore. So he was staying at home so much, so like his muscles just got tired a lot.
Yeah.
He didn't really go out and like walk around or anything. So like he did a little conference in Indonesia again lately, and he got really tired. Like traveling is tiring.
Oh my God.
You
I'm
know,
exhausted.
we all know that too as a musician.
exhausted.
You know, you travel all the time,
I mean, not half as much as Benny.
dude. That Ben Benak, come on, that motherfucker is in fucking Korea right now. Just like he was just.
He was in Fort Lauderdale or something yesterday, and he's like, "Yo,
No,
I'm in
he was
Korea
in
now."
Vail. Like Jimmy was with him, and like Jimmy got
Oh yeah,
back
he told me he was
yesterday.
hanging with Jimmy.
And then Ben just like, oh, I'm not going back to New York. I'm going to South Korea. I was like, dude, that's amazing, but when are you gonna come home? He's
Yeah,
never home.
and the last time I saw him was what, August 5th and 6th. We did Vegas, and then we did San Jose, and we finished the. This is crazy. Okay, we did 2 nights in Vegas, and then the third day, we took a flight. Graham Dector, Kyle Poole, myself, and Benny took a Southwest flight from Vegas to San Jose, which was horribly turbulent. Any flight coming out of Vegas is just like Kyle was holding my hand. It was awful.
That's cute.
And then yeah, I love him so much. And then we landed, got off, immediately went to the stage, played a gig, went to dinner. Benny went back to his room and flew to Japan.
Oh my God.
So he went in one day. He went Vegas, San Jose, gig, Japan. And then he said when he landed in Japan, he was teaching 2 hours later.
Oh, dude.
But he loves it. He loves the thrill of it. He's going to come on the podcast.
The
soon.
thing is, like, when he gets older, and then he couldn't work for like 3 years again, that's gonna kill him. You know.
Yeah, he's got to be busy.
I think that's got like those people exist, like people who want to be working all the time, like consistently.
Yeah.
Just.
I'm kind of one of those people too.
Sure, like I'm one of those people too. I have to be working.
But not like that.
But not like that. I mean, like if I could, I think I would. I don't know. Like I feel like he's like doing all the stuff that he wants to do.
Well, he's finally getting recognized as a leader and as a front guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done a lot of sideman stuff too, but people are contacting him to come out by himself and play with local rhythm section or
that's
bring one
nice.
person or bring
Yeah.
Yeah, and he deserves it. And he's one of the few guys I know who can show up in any random town and get local cats to sound like they've been in his band for a year.
I know. I don't know how
He
Benny
knows the
does
right
it.
songs to pick. He knows the right order. He knows. I've learned a lot about leading and staying cool on the road.
Ben's
from him.
good. Ben, I learned a lot, like his stage presence. Like I'm not like a show man like him, but I definitely learned a lot just to talk to audience and like include the audience and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's really, really warm. Like he's
Yeah.
he's warm, man. Like if I go see his show, like I would be uplifted.
Yeah.
Like I have something to see and like something to feel, you know?
Yeah.
I respect him.
Yeah.
Ben's cool.
And where were we at before?
Well, because I was talking about my dad, like he used to
Right,
travel a lot,
right.
and traveling is tiring, you know. I hope he's gonna be okay. But yes,
Yeah. Prayers up for Mickey's dad.
yes.
Drop them in the comments.
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
before that, we were talking about what were we talking about?
What were we talking
Being
about?
opinionated and
Yeah, social media. Be
social
careful with the
media.
social media. You know, I think that's important. But yeah.
But somehow YouTube comments are a little bit more playful.
Oh,
And
playful
people
is
get-
a nice way to
Well,
put it.
people get away with saying way worse.
Because it's
which
not,
is
you
funny because not to interrupt you, but when you look at Instagram and you see somebody's handle, it doesn't exactly let you know who they are right away.
No, but you
But
can
YouTube is
see.
like John the dude, like it's immediately who they are, and they're like, this sucks, and it's acceptable.
No, but YouTube, like you can make an account that has nothing to do with you, you know? Like you can make an account and like you can comment it and nobody knows who you are. Like Facebook or what was the
Facebook, yeah, is giveaway.
Facebook, like it's a giveaway. Like Instagram also. Like I mean you can work yourself in like, oh, I'm gonna make a fake account so like I can comment all those,
a Finsta.
you know. Finsta?
A Finsta, they call it.
Really?
Fake Insta. Yeah.
Wow, Finsta. I mean, like there was this person sometimes comes back to my feed and like comments really like nasty stuff.
Really?
Yeah, and like then I went back and like, who is this person, you know? And then he doesn't have anything on his Instagram post. Like he doesn't post anything, but maybe he just goes on to people's page and like comments things that painful, you know? It's like hurtful. So some people do that, but YouTube too. Like I get sometimes hurt by YouTube people commenting on Small's feed that just like, oh, look at me, Miki, it's such and such, you know?
Anything that's got heavy traffic on it, like Chad's or Emmett's or Smalls or Jazz Link Center or whatever, there's a lot of haters.
Wow, even for Emmett's things? I thought everybody loves Emmett's things.
No, I've read some rough stuff. I mean, for the most part, it's pretty
Yeah,
positive.
'cause, like,
Same
he's-
with Chad. It's very
yeah,
positive.
Chad too. Like everybody loves them.
It's like
you know?
if there's 100 comments, there's like 90 positive ones, which is great. That's a great sign that people are actually like that we're putting music out there, and it's really. But the Smalls thing is different because there's just these trolls that sit on there
Right.
and just torture people. I've done it to Benny before myself.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I mean,
There
like I would
goes-
do that to my friends, but I just like like all those regulars at Smalls chats and like
Yeah.
just saying nasty stuff. Oh, I don't think this person's good, or like like who are you?
Right.
Like,
are you?
Can you even play anything?
Or have you even ever heard a record or? Like,
Yeah, just like those. Like I mean, like they can talk shit about me, but if like they talk shit about like whomever I'm working with or whatever, like
Have you gotten some negative stuff on your streams not about you? You also have your stream too.
Well, my stream is like done for normal people. I do it for Patreon people only.
Nice.
I just care about the people who want to support me.
Yeah.
So I just decided to do that just once a month for the Patreon subscribers. But yeah, there are a lot of nasty things out there. But on my thing, I think there were a couple. I did 111 episodes.
111 episodes.
Yeah, every
Wow.
week I didn't miss a week since February 2021 to whenever I quit. Every freaking week, I didn't miss a week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I did it.
I
did
know
it
how
hard.
much work that is.
And it was a lot of work, and I paid a lot of money for people, even though I didn't pay them that much money. But it was like every week, It's
Yeah.
like a lot. It's adds up. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, I like my money. I'll keep it for myself.
Right, right. No, but 111 is a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. I learned a lot. I love tunes too. That was fun.
Oh yeah, I was.
Because I did all the themed stuff. Like
I think I was learning out of the past,
oh, that's cool.
and I saw you.
Oh, I played it. Well, maybe like
Maybe,
there
or
was like
another
an
tune.
100 days challenge. I did out of past because I was learning Benny Golson's more of Benny Golson's tunes. I learned a lot of tunes but then I like to go all those hardcore composers. James Williams week and like Lucky Thompson week.
That's so great.
And it's like we did Kurt. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
Lucas. Pino, that was fun. That's like one of the maybe Filters is one of the most played streaming videos.
Yeah, that's a great video. And it's funny. I don't know if I had ever played some of that stuff
ever since
with
then?
Kurt.
I mean,
Before, and now I've played it with him. But after
I
that
think
stream.
Jimmy wants to play with him like those tunes. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
we'll see.
wants
We'll
to-
ask him.
yeah.
I think I think it's trio we're doing. I'm not sure.
I know piano.
I think. I'll have to ask. Maybe Kurt. Hey, Kurt. Maybe he's watching. Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy. Oh, I'm so pumped to
Dude, I'm pumped for Jimmy.
travel
man.
with Jimmy.
Jimmy's my
Jimmy's
boy,
blowing
man.
up, man. What's Jimmy up to? So he's in Vail?
Jimmy's like busy. Jimmy's not going to be in town much this fall, so I'm not.
Go Jimmy.
I'm missing him already. Yes.
Well deserved. One of the baddest dudes.
Dude, I know he's
so
good.
ridiculous.
He's so good.
That record that I did with him and Simon and Kurt and stuff is coming out.
Oh, it's coming
May.
out.
I just got the date today from Seller.
Oh, great.
May. Not sure what it's going to be called yet, but
Okay.
still mixing and like adding a couple.
Right, like
little
that's like
things.
an all-star band, right? Like you just literally put together.
Yeah, it's okay. Jimmy's on the whole thing,
Jimmy's on the whole thing. Simon's on
which
a
is
couple
the
tunes?
first record I've done where one drummer is on the whole thing.
Oh, is that right? No.
Besides the one with Farnsworth.
Okay. But look, didn't you do one with Itai? I thought Itai was on.
Oh,
the whole
Itai?
thing.
No, I'm lying. Sorry. The ones with Itai, the Stephenson ones. Right. He ties on those whole records. But those are co-leader. I'm just thinking of records that are strictly my own. Usually it's like the first one I had Jonathan Barber and Kyle. The second one is like Aruda, Kush.
Kimmel.
No,
Did you
this
do
is the
Kimmel?
second one. It came out after the Standards one, but it's called Claffy too. And it's, damn. Aruda, Kurt. No, sorry. Yes, Kurt's on it. But Aruda, Kush, thank you. And Bill Campbell was on one track.
Wow.
And then the Standards one is Aruda, Kimmel, Mark Jr. For the drums. Cool. Yeah. And then this one is, I have a couple more. I'm just like losing track. I've been trying to put out as much stuff as possible.
Right.
I figure I'm in my 20s. I have, Cellar Live's awesome. La Reserve are my dudes. La Reserve is the name of we've talked about it on here before, but the name of the neighborhood across the street from our high school where we used to rehearse every week. Our buddy Jason lived there. And there's actually a prisoner loose right now, by the way, in our hometown. Have you seen that on the national news?
I don't see news.
You don't watch news?
No.
There's in Chester County, Pennsylvania, 1 mile from where I grew up, there is a prisoner that's been on the loose for 6 days and they can't get him.
So like he's
like sleeping during the day in the woods and moving at night, and it's a heavily wooded area. See that painting? That's Andrew Wyeth. That was painted like a mile from where I grew up.
Wow.
Andrew Wyeth, super famous. I think it's called Christina's World is the name. It's for the viewers. It's right behind. I keep it up on my computer, just a print of it.
That's cool.
But it's like that area, except if you imagine near there, it's just all woods, and this guy's got out of the prison and they can't get him. It's been 6 days.
Wow.
Yeah, like the National Guard, I think, is
good
coming.
for him. I'm like, dude, are they doing a movie shoot or something?
But anyway,
it works out. Come on.
Back to the topic at hand. Jimmy's on the whole record, and it's
Jimmy's great.
Kurt and Simon and Kikoski and Tim Bray and Eric Alexander and Stacy.
Right.
And Matt Chalk.
That's right.
My main dude, who's still
is he still in New York?
Yeah, he's still here.
Oh,
he's
that's
painting.
Nice. Painting. I love his painting. You should check it out. I'm a big fan of him.
But Jimmy, what's Jimmy? So he was at Vail?
Yeah, he was in Vail. He wasn't anywhere before that, but he is going to be. Well, I'm doing a tour in LA and Arizona.
Nice.
With my band. This is my first time bringing multiple dates.
You going to the MIM?
No, I'm doing just so the LA is Sam first, but Arizona we're going to Scottsdale. That's right near Phoenix.
Yeah, of course.
There's a Ravenscroft piano company.
Cool.
They host a concert series. I'm doing one of those, and the next day we're going to Tucson.
Nice.
And then we're playing at the local venue called the Century Room.
Yes.
That my man Arthur is really working
hard.
Yeah,
Art event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're doing that, and then doing a workshop at the University of Arizona.
Oh, nice.
I think through Angelo Versace. Versace or whatever, how to pronounce, I don't know. So that's what we are doing, and so he's doing that, and he's coming back to New York for 1 day, and next day he's flying to Mexico to play with the Justin Coughlin, and then he's coming back to New York again 1 day, and then fly to South America to tour with you guys.
Yeah, with Kurt's trio.
Yeah.
Right. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and then he's coming back, and he's going to go somewhere else again. No, we're going back to Japan in November. So that's happening.
Like right after he gets back?
Yeah.
Damn, man, this cat's moving.
Yeah, he's moving. He's moving.
He's better than me going back to New York for 1 day. I have 1 day off after Benny's Texas tour before I go down to South America. I was like, I'm going to chill in Austin for a day.
Dude, yeah, he's just like, oh, I want to do laundry. I want to eat home food. I want to sleep on my bed. It's just like, he could have, I think, flown from Mexico to South America if he wanted to.
Right.
But he was like, no, I can come home. I can come home.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Well, he's your husband. He wants to come home and spend time with you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I kind of need him, like, mentally, emotionally speaking. I was like, oh, when he's gone, I was like, I did the Birdland gig without him. I was, like, going absolutely nuts.
Really?
I need him around.
But I'm sure it was great.
It was great, but it's not about that. It's like when I'm playing, it's fine. But to get there, bringing all the gears, like I wanted to take videos and stuff like that. So it's just
He's so organized.
He's organized. He doesn't do any of that, but like he just is there. he's always there for me. It's like, what do you need? Like, what do you have to do? He's like,
Best.
I got you. I'm gonna go park the car for you. Like, he's like so on top of it, everything. I need him for me to function, basically. I did it though. I did it without him, but I was very going nuts. Very much so. Very much so. Yes, going nuts. Yeah. I can't do it. I can't do it alone anymore. I'm very weak. I have a lot to do, just
I don't
every
think you're weak.
day.
You just have a great guy, and
I
he's,
know, he's the greatest.
whenever I'm playing with him or in a band with, I never have to worry about anything.
No, I think I can agree with.
Especially music. I mean, all the things
Music,
besides
ooh.
music, yeah, but like, he always knows my own music better than me.
Dude,
Makes it
that's
sound
what
better.
everybody says about him,
So good.
Like as if he wrote it.
Him and Mark Jr. I mean, all the Kush, Aruda,
Yeah.
we're lucky to be this age and have all these.
I think we're lucky. Like, I think our generation is like filled with like great drummers, like,
Well, yeah, we were talking about that on the last podcast with Mark Jr. because up at Berkeley at that time, it was like Fonville, Faulkner, Aruda, Dan Nadeau. It was just stacked.
That's crazy. Even just one school. you know?
Piano's pretty great too.
Piano. Yeah, like I just always think about like a little bit older than me, but like Sullivan and like
He's only a couple years older than us.
a couple of years, but like it just like because I was hanging out with the younger generation, but like I always think about older, a little bit older, like Sullivan, Glenn Zaleski,
Oh my God, Glenn's so good.
Takeshi Obayashi, who doesn't live here, but like in Japan, like
T-Cash Money.
completely tearing it up. Just T-Cash is one of the baddest
He's so great.
around. Oh my God, he's so amazing. And like Mike King,
Crushing.
crushing.
All the
completely.
keyboards you need, all the organs you need, all the drums you need.
Dude, he can literally do anything. Only thing he can't do is probably play the bass, but
No, he can.
he can play the bass
He
too.
can play. I've seen him play a little bit upright, but he can
not
really play electric.
fair. Mike, it's too good.
Do you play any other instruments?
I know the notes of the bass, but
Oh, I've seen you play bass before.
very badly because I just don't practice. But oh God,
But you have a bass too.
I do have a bass. It's not mine though. It's Luke Selig's bass. Yeah.
How's Luke doing?
Luke is great. Luke is touring with Monty Alexander all the time. He's busy. Otherwise, like he's just like, like he does gigs here and there in the city too. But I think he's writing a lot of music all the time. And he likes, he has a nice drone camera, and like he likes to take those aerial.
I saw him in the
videos and
park
stuff.
playing hockey with Ned Gould a
He
couple weeks
loves
ago.
playing sports. Like we had a gig with Dan and Rand the other day, just playing at Django. Not my favorite place. I shouldn't say that, but I mean it. But Luke was like, guess what I was doing before this gig? And it's like, I don't know. He was like, oh, I was pitching. Like he was an opener for this baseball game that he was a part of. He opened the game and he pitched a 3 innings, and he just quickly changed, and he came to the Django to play with us. It was so hilarious. Yeah.
That's like Farnsworth when he's taking the runs right before the gig.
Oh, he does that?
Yeah, all the time, and then he just
Amazing.
hops into his suit
Yeah,
and
yeah.
rips.
Yeah. That's great.
But before we go, I think a lot of listeners and viewers are tuning in because they want to know more about you, even though some people resist from it being an autobiographical thing because it can be a little bit of a pain, or a biographical thing. But we've been dancing all around, but pretty much you saw some of the other bands that were maybe improvising, the middle school bands.
Yes.
And then you got right into jazz piano, or you went into something else, or
I was doing something else.
you were doing something with computers?
No, the hobby-wise, my main subject was science. I majored science, earth science. So, but I was in a choir, classical choir,
Yeah.
singing. So I was doing that for a year, but then I quit. And I think that time I started taking jazz lessons when I was maybe 16 or something like that.
Right.
Maybe 17. And that was first time I realized that jazz is improvised, and I was like, what the hell? It's crazy. But I took a lesson for a year or two, and then I quit because I had to study science. I couldn't do both. So I took the science, and I almost wanted to go to classical voice college, university for classical voice. But my dad was like, oh, hell no, you're not going to work as a classical singer. What are you thinking? I was like, okay, you got a really good point. So I went to the science university. I did, bachelor's. And I was in master's too. But that, I quit. And I moved to New York. So
Whoa. So you finish your bachelor's and you're in the middle of your master's and you go, screw this. I'm going to New York.
Well, yes, but
Or you stopped and then you stayed in Japan and you were shedding and then you were like, now I'm ready
no.
to-"
Like I was playing in local clubs. Like I was like the best piano player that age because nobody knew what jazz was to start.
Are you in Tokyo at this point?
No, hell no. Never lived in Tokyo.
No, I just meant for the playing the gigs and stuff like that.
No. Hell no.
what
I
city are you?
sucked, Claffy. Don't you remember when we met? I sucked.
You
I mean,
weren't
I still
as bad
suck.
as you're saying, but we all get better.
Dude.
Yes.
I still do suck amongst like all those, piano players that's around in my age, but I was so bad when I moved here. I didn't know any tunes without the charts. I was reading even blues, 12-bar
When
blues.
you moved here?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
When I moved here, I didn't know any tunes. I didn't even play All the Things You Are without the charts. I didn't know those tunes.
Did anyone try and prepare you before you left Japan? First of all, what city in Japan are you in at this point before you move?
My college was in Okayama. It's
Okayama.
near Hiroshima. It's like
Yeah,
south.
I've seen that name.
It's very rural. I went to college there. Nobody told me that I have to memorize charts. That's what New York people do, I think even in the States, elsewhere, people read. I real book everywhere,
Even in New York.
Even in New York, it's like the people are like just in Brooklyn. I was in this session. It's like this tenor player just like pulled off his Iro book and put it down when he was playing alone together. I was like, dude, what?
It's crazy.
I really wanted to say, but that was not my sessions. Like I was like, I'm gonna just.
I was on a gig the other day and somebody called Infinize, and I was like, I could possibly hear this after one chorus, get at least the basic movement, but I don't want to, do a disservice.
Yeah,
Do you have a
especially
chart?
ballad.
And they were like, yeah, right. And they were like, just get your phone out. And I was like, I don't.
No.
Anybody who, I mean, listen, I'm young to be teaching, but like any of us, we teach because we need money and we're in New York. And I do genuinely enjoy doing it. But any student who studies with me, I make them delete the Iro book right in front of me.
That's wow.
I'm like, that's my only requirement, actually, to study with me, is that you have to delete the Iro book.
Because
then you're in trouble.
I should start doing that.
Yeah, because then you have to use your ears, you have to write it out, and you feel bad. And you're like, I need to learn these songs. It comes from a place of like, oh shit.
Oh, I like
don't
that. Maybe I'm going to do it this semester.
But anyway, I used somebody's phone to read it, and I felt very weird. I felt naked on stage.
I mean, like, I would probably say no to the song because I don't know it.
Right. It wasn't my gig.
I was your gig. And
It wasn't my gig.
Okay.
It was somebody else's gig. So I was trying to be respectful, but I was like,
Okay, so then, yeah, if it was someone's gig, then yes.
yeah, you read it.
Then yes, whatever,
So anyway, you're like, you moved to New York.
I came to New York one time for a sightseeing. I didn't know anyone, so like I went to, see shows. I think I saw like maybe Gerald Clayton trio.
Nice.
I'm a huge fan.
Me too.
I think that was the first show that I watched in.
Come on,
New
Gerald,
York.
come on the pod.
Yeah, he's so great, and I saw Cedar Walton, and that was so amazing. I went back 2 more nights, and that really changed my life. And then I decided to quit my master's then, because
After seeing Cedar,
yeah,
that's amazing.
that
I
did
never
it
saw
for
him.
me. That did it for me. Oh, I never saw Mulgrew. That's my.
I saw Mulgrew a couple times.
That's great. Cedar.
I saw him with Jason Brown at Smalls in Brno.
Dude, that's amazing.
It was ridiculous.
Oh
And
my
I think it's a record. I think it's live at Smalls.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Jason was on it?
It was Joe Magnarelli live at Smalls, I believe.
Okay.
And it's Mulgrew and Brno and Jason. I could be wrong about that.
I'll
But
check
when
it
you
out.
when you saw Cedar,
Yeah.
was it David Williams and
I think David Williams and Willie.
Willie?
And then I think, what's his name? Steve Turre was playing,
Nice.
I think. And maybe Vincent Herring. I can't remember because I didn't know
the
any of
Vanguard?
those people. No, at Dizzy's. And they used to have the student discount. And the student discount was like $15. And then back then, the currency was really good for Japan. So Japanese yen was much stronger than the US dollar. So like I saw that show with like the equivalent of $10 for me.
So like a New York latte, like a dirty chai latte.
Yes, exactly.
essentially.
Or like a fancy juice. That was it. Green
No, a
juice.
fancy juice at JFK is going to be double that.
Oh, That's true. But
Yeah.
anyway, that was it. Like, I was like, New York is amazing. I get to see Cedar Walton with $10. You
You're
know?
like Nicole, where it's like, guess the price on her
Yes,
Instagram.
guess
and
the
it's
price.
like, yeah,
That's
yeah.
really funny. Yes. That's, yeah. Yes, the price is right.
Ed Kelhoff.
Yes, that's my favorite tune, by the way. I've been
Family
playing
friend,
it.
Ed Kelhoff.
I didn't know, but just, yeah, I think you told me that, actually.
He wrote ABC World News Tonight, too. He wrote a bunch of killing stuff.
I'm sure, like, he wouldn't just write one tune, you know, if he's that killing, you know. I'm fucking super killing.
So you saw Cedar Walton, your life's
Yes, and
changed. You
I
drop
told
out of
my
school.
mom
What do
that-
mom and dad feel about that?
They were like, hell no, just come home. So, look,
You
then,
tried to like stay in New York?
no,
You're
no,
like,
no,
I'm
no,
not
but,
coming
like,
home.
No, I have a flight ticket and I have to fly home. But like, my mom told me to call her. I was like, okay, everything is cool. I'm safe. I'm enjoying myself. It's really great. Mom, I have things to tell you. Like, I really want to move to New York. And I was like, oh, don't you dare to start right now. So like, I was like, okay, we'll talk when I get home. But I just like immediately started looking up how to take a break from my college, like my master's.
Right.
But then in Japan, or at least my school, public school, allowed me to take 2 years break. So I did take 2 years break first. I took a 2-year break, and then eventually I didn't go back. So that was.
I thought you were going to go back when I first met
Oh
you.
yes, that's why I was gonna go back. That's why I took.
When you had that Facebook profile picture with you in the cool white car, right?
Oh, dude, yes, my.
I have a crazy memory like that.
Woo, yes, my car.
What kind of car was it?
It's Toyota.
Do you still have it?
No, hell no. I got rid of it. But yeah, just like I was gonna move back because I wasn't gonna work as a musician. I didn't think that was a job.
Yeah.
Even then. So it's like what I wanted to do was like so that's how I convinced my mom. My dad was cool with it, but my mom was like, okay, so I'm gonna move to New York. I'm gonna be hanging out with musicians.
Yeah.
But the main things, I'm gonna go to English school so I can speak English, and I can work. I can use this knowledge and ability in Japan to work
Ah.
as a scientist. Especially if I can communicate with those, abroad scientists,
Yeah.
like it's gonna be just good.
You're an asset because you're bilingual and whatever.
Yes, like people are gonna hire me easier. So
Right.
like it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, okay, that's you got a point. So why don't you do that? So I did that. I couldn't speak English when I moved here.
Yeah.
Yeah, my English is very terrible. But yeah, still working on it, but it's getting better. Yeah, so that was that. And like I was gonna move back. I still didn't think that music was a thing, I didn't know anyone. I met a bunch of you guys
Yeah.
and everything, but yeah, just who thinks musician is a job? Like for us, like we do this every day, like including practicing and
Yeah.
emailing people,
It's a
hustling.
wild job.
It's a wild job, but it's a job. We make living.
Yeah.
You fucking live in like a Upper West Side. Come on, I shouldn't maybe say it,
Yeah.
but whoops, like I did. But like I live in Harlem, like with my husband.
But you have
was,
a
like,
super nice place.
nice apartment. We can make living. We have a garage. Like we.
It's not
just bought a
glamorous,
new
but
car.
it's a living,
Yes, it's very.
and we get to do what we love
Yes, it's great. And
for 2 hours of the day, and then the other 16 hours are doing what we don't love at all.
No, but I think it's worth it though. I love playing music so much.
Yeah, it's the best.
It's the best thing ever. Yeah. If I can do that like every day for the rest of my life, I'm so happy to like just, say that I'm a musician,
That's such a good sentiment. But it must have been discouraging to move here.
Oh yeah.
When you first got here, was it just the absolute biggest shock of all time?
Of course. Are you kidding me? Just like everything was opposite. Just think about it. Everything was opposite. Dirty, stinky. Everybody looks so different. Like there's so many different kinds of people. Like white is weird too, for me. Because I'm
Right.
coming from like a very one type of human being country.
Yeah.
We're, especially in the island as well. Like it's very segregated, not segregated, like it's very isolated. That's
Yeah.
the word. It's all Japanese people, some Chinese, some Korean people. But like those are my friends too. But we kind of look like the same anyway. So it's not like black people, Latino people, Middle Eastern people, Indian people,
Yeah.
white people, all look different. And I was so shocked how different people looked or people can look.
Yeah.
It wasn't in my concept, even though I watched the movies and everything, but it wasn't.
It was very much in real life, right in front of you. Where did
Yeah.
you live when you first got to town?
Not far from where I live now, but 157th and Broadway.
And so you had roommates, obviously.
5 roommates.
Wow. How long were you there?
A year.
Okay. And you were just
bitches.
you were just out.
Oh, I don't recommend. I don't recommend. That was hard.
You were out every night playing and
Every
learning.
single night, I would say so.
Yeah.
You saw me. Yes.
Yeah, it was amazing. And
Yes.
like Stacy, you were at Spencer's Monday nights, all that.
Oh, no. Yes.
And it never got to be too much where you were just going to go home. You were just like, I'm going to do this.
I don't know why, but like things were just getting better and better each day almost, Like my English is getting better, or my playing is getting better, or I at least know more tunes,
Right.
Something was getting better every day for me, And like I saved up money before moving here because my dad insisted like you have to make money first to move to the States. If you decided to do that, I encourage you, but you have to make money first. We don't have money. We can like give you like a monthly. Oh, no, I think what he did was like he gave me the tuition. He was like, I'll prepare for the tuition for the English school, but everything else you have to.
Is that how you got a visa?
Yes.
Was the English school? Where was that?
City College.
Ah.
So that was really good because I was lucky though, because I didn't have any piano or anything. So City College English school, that TOEFL class, that's to go to normal universities. That's for international people. That building was the same as the music building. They taught that class in the same building, so I could go in and I could use the practice rooms because they didn't have the practice keys back then. So I finished my English school at 1 p.m., have a lunch with my friends, and then I go back to the building and practiced like every day.
And then go out at night.
Yes. Because like I go home and take a nap like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then make some food for myself because I didn't have money. I really didn't have money because I was like scraping my savings.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then I went out every night.
Wow.
Did the same thing every day. Maybe I had one day that I don't go out and sleep the fuck in.
Yeah,
But like
time.
I would say 6 nights out of 7
I remember
nights,
we were all
I
out.
was out.
All of us were out.
I was definitely out. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was just like, it was so fun. Like everything was just getting better for me. So I was like, dude, this is so fun. And it's a good feeling. Like things are just getting better for you.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a good feeling. You don't want to leave that situation, you know? So I
when
was
you're
like,
on the gradual incline.
But then quickly enough, I ran out money. So I had to move back to Japan. I didn't have money to stay.
I remember that.
Yeah, I had to move back. And like back then I had a boyfriend. He broke up with me and I was very miserable. So I stayed at my friend Sarah Sloanim's apartment. She was really nice to host me. And then I already knew that I have to go home. So I went home. And then I worked again, saved up money, and then went to Queen's College, actually to study music.
And then, so how long did you go home for?
I was there for like 6 months, I guess. But I worked like day and night, basically.
To save money.
Save money. I stayed at my parents' house this time, so I didn't have to pay for rent. So I just like did
And then
everything.
what year was it that you came back? Not to interrupt you,
2014.
and then it's been nearly 10 years. But the first time you came here was what, 2012?
Yes.
Wow. So you're celebrating like pretty much 11 years in New York. Do you, before we have to, because I know you have to run to a gig and so do I.
Yeah, you have to leave.
Yeah, I got to go because
I have time, but,
Got to pick up my bass. Do you have anything that you want to plug or tell people what's going on? The record's coming out.
Yes, I want you to check out Shades of Rainbow. That's coming out on September 8th. I guess when you listen to it, it's later. But please check it out. I think it should be all out on Spotify and Apple Music and everywhere. Yeah, so like that's like dear to me. And also like just check out my Instagram if you haven't followed me. I always post silly stuff and cute stuff and music stuff. Not a heartful, like, just like it's fun stuff. So like follow me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, then I'm doing a tour. I mentioned it earlier, but
When is that, by the way?
October 12th in LA at Sam First. That's with Mark Turner as well. So Mark lives in
Nice.
LA, so he's playing that gig. And then the trio is gonna go to Phoenix and Scottsdale. We're gonna play at the Ravenscroft. On the 13th and 14th, we're playing at the Century Room in Tucson. That's about it. But doing a masterclass on 16th at the University of Arizona, and then we're gonna come back. So please check it out. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for doing this.
Of
And we'll have
course.
you back on.
That would be nice. Let's do it with Jimmy. That would be fun.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Let's do
Sorry,
it,
that was
yeah.
totally last minute of me. That
No. Jimmy's just like, no, I can't do it today. He's
Yeah,
like, he's
okay.
busy. Yes.
Right. Yeah, it was way too last minute. But next time we'll get you back on with
Yes.
Jimmy.
Let's get Jimmy, and like we can talk a lot of, Jimmy's a deep thinker. So
Yeah, we'll carve out like a longer amount of time and
yes, and
Have-
you can just edit, make it short.
no. People
has
like the long ones too. But it's good to,
Really?
yes, absolutely.
Wow, you guys have time.
The Gerald Cannon one's like 2.5 hours.
Really?
And it's
I mean, I would like. I should listen to that because I love Gerald.
they're all
you
up.
know.
They're all so Village Green is the name of the podcast. It's been the same. So VGP on YouTube. But all those episodes are now up on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. There's one more I'm forgetting, and obviously here on YouTube. So
Great. Wow, awesome. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll start doing one of those. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
You're a good host, and I always wanted to do things like that.
you should do it.
Yeah.
All you
it
gotta do
sounds
is
fun.
buy 2 RE20s, and that's it.
Woohoo!
All right, guys.
Yes, thank you so much.